This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is it. The world as you know it is over. Completely done. It's not about to be over. It's over.
Some of the scientists who helped build AI are now sounding the alarm.
I was selling AI as a great thing for decades, and I was wrong.
There's a longer-term existential threat that will arise when we create digital beings that are more intelligent than ourselves. We have no idea whether we can stay in control.
While others say that AI will usher in unfathomable abundance.
I've always believed that it's going to be the most important invention that humanity will ever make.
This really will be a world of abundance.
And among these fears and these fantasies, we seek the story of our future. Listen to The Last Invention on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the TJ Show, or news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
We saw this headline on creativeboom.com. It asked the question, is social media over for creatives, or have we just woken up to what it is? So members of the creative community are sharing their views on the platforms that once promised them connection, but now increasingly only deliver exhaustion.
Yeah,
I feel it.
There's so many hurdles for creators to get their stuff seen because there's so much stuff. I think about it almost like, you know, if you flush every toilet in your house, you run all the water, at a certain point, the pipes are going to back up. I think at this point, the social media pipes are backing up with all the AI slop. And I think this is actually a huge problem because there are some really important voices that were starting to be heard via the internet because it was this fair playing field. You put your stuff out there, the cream rises to the top. Because of the way the internet has now been oversaturated, that's not the case anymore. So you're snuffing out some very important voices because of this era that we're in.
I mean, some people go days without even jumping on social. Like, I didn't jump on social at all yesterday.
Yeah, you bet you.
Before, I used to be on like every day, like almost all day, every day.
Is that why you're so peaceful today?
Just today.
I mean,
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, but no, I actually wrote down on my to-do list today, top of my list, go on screen less. I got to show this to you, Heather. Look at this.
Please, yeah, I want to see it.
Less screens, number 1.
Oh, that is number 1 on the to-do list for today.
Because I just was so grossed out by everything. But I know that's not what this story is about.
It's more like a to-don't list.
Yeah, don't
right.
go on the screen.
Yeah, so this is specifically talking about people who are creating content, creatives, artists, where social media for them once felt like a gift, a free portfolio, global exposure, but now many agree that that era is over. For instance, one creative talks about how he'll post something, his art, and only 10% of his followers will see it. So it's all based on the algorithm now. If you're following somebody and you want to see their content, there's no guarantee you're going to see it.
Yeah, and it's out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, yeah.
There's also another thing that's kind of weird. So, you know, there's been some controversial stuff flying around our world in recent days, months, years. And I've noticed that there are some creators who are talking about some real stuff, and they're self-editing themselves, not swear words, but words that they think will trigger censors.
Yes.
And so, you know, I'm like, why are they bleeping themselves?
Yeah.
Why are they taking... And it's because they don't want the closed caption to report to YouTube that they're talking about. You name the subject, maybe YouTube doesn't want you talking about. And they're trying to get by the filters, which I guess it worked because I saw it.
Yeah.
But
and still be able to communicate what they're trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really weird, the hoops that are being jumped through, what creators are doing, but I do
think...
think...
censorship is kind of weird.
Right.
Like some things,
that's what
like,
it is.
Why can't we talk about this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else you got, Kenny?
There's a famous scene from The Office where Steve Carell's character, Michael Scott, drives into a lake because he was following GPS directions little too closely.
That's probably the only episode of The Office I have ever seen.
Yep.
And I remember it to this day. And I don't trust my GPS for nothing because of that.
That's good. It's a public service announcement.
Well, something similar happened to an Amazon delivery driver in Great Britain. He was following GPS directions, wound up getting stuck in the mud at a shooting range ran by Britain's Ministry of Defense.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Thankfully, they weren't doing any active shooting drills at the time, but the GPS apparently took him on this area called the Broomway, which is a path meant for walking and walking only. And people say that you should only ever traverse the Broomway on foot with somebody who knows what they're doing in these mud flats. He wound up taking the van there. It almost immediately got stuck in the mud.
I had an Amazon driver get stuck. I think it was a snowstorm a number of years ago, and he couldn't get out of my driveway. And so I was like, oh my goodness. He looked thrilled about it. I guess he just like was hanging out. I brought him snacks, and I was like, hey, you want some snacks? He's like, yeah, that's cool. So he had snacks. He was on a screen. And then someone came and helped him. I don't know who it was, and they got him out of there.
Yeah, thankfully for this driver, he got stuck at the right time and not the wrong time. It could have been perhaps a worse situation depending on what was going on in that shooting range.
Kenny, what else do you have?
It was a blowout last night in college basketball with UCLA taking on number 15 ranked Michigan State. The game was already out of hand with about 4 minutes left to play. Michigan State had a 27-point lead over UCLA when Michigan State center Carson Cooper went on a breakaway, and he was fouled hard from behind by UCLA center Steven Jamerson in what could have been a very dangerous play.
Well, yeah, if you don't even see it coming.
Yeah, when nobody's in front of you, someone's coming from behind and hits you in the back as you're going up for a layup or a slam dunk. I almost got into a fight playing pickup basketball when somebody did that for me.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
So it's a very dangerous play. The officials did issue Jamerson a technical foul, and it's not clear whether or not the officials would have ejected him from the game. They didn't even have a chance to because the UCLA coach, Mick Cronin, ejected his own player himself.
Ooh, wow.
He was not tolerating that. But good for him because he pretty much set the bar. He's like, I'm not taking this. It's nonsense.
Yeah, we're not playing dirty.
Yep.
Yeah, Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo, who's a legend, he's been in the game for a long time, said after, I guess he upgraded that to a flagrant 2 himself, huh? That's the first time I've ever seen a coach do that.
Huh.
So the coach was not pleased with his players' behavior and wanted to send a very clear message, sent them straight off to the locker room.
Good. Well, that's good. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if this guy wants to have a career in the pros, you have to establish these lessons now while they're still young.
It's an extra layer of humiliation, which is not bad.
Yeah, sometimes we need
Telling
that.
you.
Kenny,
Embarrassment is a great lesson.
Yeah. What else you got, Kenny?
Well, in other athletics news, a wealthy town on Long Island in New York has temporarily banned homeowners from building their own pickleball courts on their property due to noise complaints.
Are there that many people that want to build a pickleball court that's become a point of conversation in this area?
Well, this is a very wealthy area, and wealthy people build all sorts of crazy things in their backyards. I've seen basketball courts, tennis courts. I've seen full golf courses in some celebrity backyards. So in Glen Cove, I guess there's an influx of people wanting to build their own private pickleball courts. And so many people have complained that the town has now said, we're going to put this all on hiatus. No permits for the next 3 months while we determine how to properly enact laws to govern this.
Wow, pickleball is so out of control.
Pop, pop.
But it's so loud. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like you trying to get some sleep, and somebody's out there just early in the morning or late at night because they can't get some sleep themselves. Just pop, pop. That's crazy.
It's incredible how this has taken off, and it's not slowing down. Now you got people building them in their backyard.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen similar stories with public pickleball courts, the poor neighbors who live next to these public pickleball courts. I remember one story where the guy said he would wake up in the middle of the night to sounds of pop, pop, pop. He'd have dreams about pop, 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 pop.
How much more cartoonish is our world going to get?
It's ridiculous.
And then also, tennis players are upset because they're redoing the paint on some of the tennis courts to make them into pickleball courts.
Yeah,
and
they
they're like,
hate
whoa, what are you doing? Oh, my goodness. Kenny, what else do you have?
A big toy convention just wrapped up in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. It's called the Toy Fair, where industry people can determine what the next big thing in the toy industry will be. I saw this article in Business Insider. It was upsetting to me as the headline read, Labubu's are over. Oof. Next
yeah.
up for kids and the young at heart, the Highland cow.
I could have told you little boo-boos were over.
As soon as Kenny bought one, we knew.
It was done deal.
It was done. I was standing next to him in the elevator the other day, and I see this grown man just standing there with a little blue Labubu hanging from his neck. And I couldn't help but take a picture of it. I said, stay right where you are. And it's, you knew, like, no one's going to think this is cool at this point.
Well, the problem they were scarce, and then the company that makes them just rushed the market, and now they're everywhere. So all of that scarcity, the value that some of them had for being rare, it's just no longer the case.
Right.
So it does appear I'm a little late to the party on the Labubu front, but they're saying that the next big toy in the plush toy market is the Highland cow. So these are beautiful Scottish cows with long, straight hair, and
I've
the
seen
males
them.
have big horns.
Yeah, they're goofy looking animals. Yeah. They're fluffy.
You know what's so funny is I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going to be the next popular plushie. And I bought one of those for my nephew for Valentine's.
Nice. You're magnetized to the trend,
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
I
you
am
started
the trend. I am the one that started it.
No, I know those cows very well. First of all, they sell pictures of them at Target. Like you could buy a big picture for the wall.
They're beautiful.
I live in the neighborhood where someone has one of those things.
Oh, okay.
And I love the way it looks. And it's a goofy looking animal. And I also love, there's a company called Jellycat that does plush toys. And, you know, when somebody has a baby or whatever, we'll buy a nice little stuffed animal. They're the best toys. They're so cute. And so if they have a Highland cow, that's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of different companies are making them, but that's supposed to be the hot plushie coming forward in the future. We've seen success with plush capybaras and axolotls. The Highland cow is the next thing.
If Kenny shows up to work tomorrow with the Highland cow, we know why.
Yep.
So cool. Kenny, what else you got?
It appears more parents across the U.S. are increasingly opting out of their children's school-issued laptop and tablet programs. They're instead opting for pen and paper alternatives instead.
I wonder how teachers are receiving that, though. Because do they have to kind of adjust their teaching method? Some of the students are using laptops, others aren't.
Well, it's like they've developed this whole system with the screens. Now they're like, well, let's undo that. Let's go backwards. But I don't know. I'm a fan of pen and paper. There's something about it. I still use it today. I was like right at the edge where they just started introducing screens.
Well, J-Bo, to your point, the parents who are doing this for their children are getting more pushback from school administrators than they are for the teachers. And some of the teachers are actually going out of their way to print out paper packets and handouts for these students who have chosen to go away from the screens. But of course, it all stems from the growing concerns about excessive screen time and distractions for young people in school.
Yeah, we're in a weird time. We really are. I mean, whatever's best for the kids, they got to figure that out.
Yep.
Well, I will say it's a long time ago, but my senior year of high school, my school introduced laptops for everybody in the school.
And that was like when they didn't figure out the firewalls yet. You can go to any website.
Exactly.
Get some crazy stuff on there.
I did not do much schoolwork when I had that laptop. One of my friends figured out how to get Nintendo 64 games onto the laptop.
exactly.
I was playing Mario 64 all day, every day.
Yeah, those early days of introducing screens were not great for the classroom.
No.
Yep.
Candy, what else you got?
Another shipwreck has been discovered in Lake Michigan. The luxury passenger steamer sank 150 years ago. It's called the Lac La Belle, a 217-foot wooden steamboat built in 1864 in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow. That's incredible that's gone undiscovered for that long.
Yeah.
What was the boat used for?
It was mostly a passenger vessel, but it also transported cargo. They say at the time of its sinking, there were 52 passengers and crew on board, plus cargo, including barley, pork, flour, and whiskey.
Huh.
Is that any treasure?
No.
No. I
Interestingly enough, this
They
was
said whiskey. Whiskey is treasure.
Yeah, good point.
Is it still preserved?
But is there whiskey on? They found whiskey on the boat?
No, but that's what they believe was being shipped
Oh, okay.
at the time
How
that
cool
it
would
sank.
that be? Imagine you found this perfectly preserved whiskey.
I'll drink it.
150 years old? Oh my goodness.
The craziest thing about this story, this was the second time the boat had sank. So it sank in 1866, but 3 years before it sank, and they lifted it up out of the water, refurbished it, and got it back to working.
No.
No, they didn't.
Well, yeah, I guess it
Clearly
didn't
not.
last very long as I guess the boat was taking on water and some bad weather once again.
That's terrible.
But they say anywhere between 6,000 and 10,000 shipwrecks remain undiscovered at the bottom of the Great Lakes.
That many?
Yeah,
Whoa.
there are a bunch they're still looking for. For this particular crew, this was the 15th shipwreck found by this particular group of shipwreck hunters.
Kenny, what else you got?
There is a landmark social media trial happening in Los Angeles where essentially you have the plaintiffs accusing social media platforms like Meta and YouTube of deliberately designing social media products to addict children and teens. Yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg took the stand in this trial, and he was grilled, to say the least.
It seems that way. I mean, kids love their social media.
Right? So do adults.
Right. Like, it just seems like they figured out a way to get human beings to constantly want more.
Right.
Are they saying that's not the case?
Well, for instance, the lawyer for the plaintiff is bringing up this internal document that showed Meta knew about 30% of U.S. 10 to 12-year-olds were already using Instagram as early as 2015, and that the company aimed to increase the time those users spent on the platform.
Wow.
When asked about this document, Mark Zuckerberg said, "I don't remember the context of this email from 10 years ago."
Well, Mark,
Yeah.
this is a good question. Do you want kids to be using the internet at the rate that they're using it?
Why would we want to make billions of dollars? It doesn't make sense.
Well, that is a good question.
You know, you could make $1 million, or
Right.
maybe even a couple $100,000.
And have a good living.
The money's just finding us. We don't want to make the money.
Right. And that's
it's just
generally
happening.
When we've been hearing the aura around billionaires,
That
which has
sounds
been
crazy.
a conversation recently, that is generally the feeling you get. Like, they just want to make a decent living. They just want to be able to feed their family. They're not trying to make excessive amounts of money.
I think you're confusing them with the common person. Like, we're trying
Really?
to feed our family. We're trying to make a decent living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been misreading that.
Don't blame me that my company is worth $1 trillion. It's not my fault. I didn't do it.
Right. It's
I
by
don't want
accident.
Right.
the
It
money.
just happened all of a
Right.
sudden by itself.
All right. Well, listen. The trial's going to play out, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, an actual quote that Mark Zuckerberg said, he said, "I think the way we should build things is to build useful services for people to connect with their family
Right.
and friends and to learn about the world."
He's serving the community.
That's all he wants.
That was my feeling.
He doesn't want to make money with this.
I mean, there's so many articles and like scientific proof about how social media plays a role on the mind and on us as humans. And also, if you really want to like have your mind blown, I want you to check out The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It literally is a documentary exposing how social is used and how, I mean, this is intentional, the way it operates.
Well, let's see how this plays out. Maybe they got that wrong. So,
Yeah,
Zuck
okay.
seems like a nice guy.
I am rubber and you are glue, and whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Yeah, and maybe
TJ's
he's
just chicken right now.
He might just be
Being a
getting
chicken, TJ.
bullied, and I'm just gonna think about both sides of the argument.
All right.
Kenny, what else do you have?
There's a new study from Consumer Reports that's ranking the least expensive grocery chains in the United States.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this.
Hit me with it.
You should know. It's Costco,
I did.
obviously.
The
I did.
big C.
I did. I just wanted to hear you say it. It is a magical experience. I actually consider it a part of my decompression because it feels like, I know people think it's stressful because there's a lot of people.
I find it stressful.
But they've even got that figured out because I got into a really long line, which would always bother me, but now I do it with confidence. The second the line gets long, a woman that works at Costco comes over. She's wearing a ring, and the ring can scan your groceries. And she goes and scans your whole cart. She goes, "Do you want a little pre-scan?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, of course I do." And she got a little beep, 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 beep. She goes, "Just scan your cart." I go through. I don't even have to unpack the cart. I hope for long lines now because
I like that.
they pre-scan everything. They count it. They're very good at counting there. And then they push me right through. And it's amazing. I never have to wait. It's remarkable.
No, that's not why they're the cheapest
No.
store, but that's pretty great.
That's why they're wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Listen, I could be a pitchman for Costco.
You could.
And
You are.
Well, yeah, I guess I have turned into one. But I use my my vanilla example. So you go to your regular store and you buy vanilla. If you do the math, They sell this. It almost looks like a liter of vanilla. Like it's such a huge amount. And my wife bakes all the time for $10. Have you seen how much it costs for vanilla?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a big family and you need to buy a lot of items, Costco is definitely the biggest bang for your buck. But if it's just you probably shouldn't go to Costco because you will spend way more than you need to.
Well, sure, but don't you want vanilla for 6 years in your cupboard?
Probably not.
No, all right.
No.
Well, I guess you and I are different on that one.
Yeah, so Walmart is considered the country's largest grocery retailer, so they use Walmart prices as a baseline, and on average, groceries at Costco were 21.4% less
unbelievable.
than Walmart. The reason is because of the whole-scale bulk buying model and the limited product selection. They have about 4,000 items in store compared to 30,000 at a typical supermarket.
Well, there you go. Now we know. Kenny, what else you got?
You've probably heard that there is an increased demand for what's known as rare earth minerals. These are the materials used to make, for instance, electric car batteries. And traditional mining efforts are very inefficient. So scientists have developed a way to use fungus, mushrooms, to mine for these rare earth minerals.
So people are teaming up with mushrooms?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Are we in Super Mario Brothers?
I like it.
might be
What is
getting there.
happening with our planet?
Yeah, it's really cool. So the mycelia, that's the type of fungus, is able to penetrate soil and absorb nutrients, heavy metals, and rare earth elements.
Wait, it's absorbing the metals?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So if you plant the right mushroom, it like gets the gold or whatever it is.
You can't see what's happening here, but when Kenny said yes, he like moved his arms in a way where he was like, yes. Like he was like,
I'm excited.
Yeah, he was excited. Like
Well,
threw him in the air.
yeah. If I knew those weird, like every once in a while a mushroom will pop up. And from what I understand, if I were to eat it out of the ground, it would probably kill me. That's how dangerous these mushrooms can be. But if they're searching for gold and I just break them apart and it's like inside of it, how cool would that be? It'd be like finding like a clam with a pearl in it.
Yeah, it's not gold, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yes?
I was at a concert once and this dude gave me mushrooms, and at the end of the night, I was searching for rare earth minerals.
Were you really?
Yeah, it was very weird.
There's so much mystery with mushrooms because you may remember, I got to find this audio.
find any.
Can we hunt the audio
Yeah.
That's a
down?
bummer.
This was from like over 3 years ago. My friend Shane, who knows a ton about mushrooms, he somehow expressed to me, if I remember this correctly, he started eating meat again because he eats mushrooms. And I was like, okay, what's the connection? He was like, well, if I'm going to eat mushrooms, I might as well eat animals. And I was like blown away. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. But I think we interviewed him about that. We're going to look for that audio. If I find it, we'll get it on in a few moments.
Yeah, we should. That'd be good.
And I think what's really cool about this is a lot of these rare earth minerals are found in contaminated places that are hazardous to humans. These fungi can grow in these hazardous areas.
Nice.
So it's safer for humans and more efficient.
It's very complex. Kenny, what else do you have?
A federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit against Buffalo Wild Wings. The plaintiff claimed false advertising because their menu described boneless wings when indeed there isn't any wing meat in the boneless wings.
Okay. I think we've been down this road. Somebody tried to do this once before.
Yeah,
I'm
there
assuming
was
they would have thrown that out.
A 2024 case at the Ohio Supreme Court, and that was referenced in this particular case to the judge, compared it to if you order chicken fingers, do you think you're actually eating the fingers of chickens?
Right, and we know that boneless wings are just chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
just
it's chicken breast.
Yeah, it's chicken breast.
They're so good. Why would you eat that and then get angry and start a lawsuit? Like, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
With the spice on it. It's lovely.
Don't come after my B-dubs. Buffalo Wild Wings is a wonderful place.
Yeah, I've never been. I think it's time.
You would love it. There are so many sauces to choose
Thank
from.
you for letting me know. Kenny, what else you got?
TJ, you know how you get excited when you see one of these coffee is good for you stories come up in the news?
Oh, yeah.
This one I think Heather's going to get excited for. A new observational study out of the University of Colorado found that moderate lifetime cannabis users showed larger volumes in brain receptors tied to memory, learning, processing speed, emotion, and regulation.
Sick. Nice.
Emotions and regulations.
Yeah, regulating emotions.
Heather, emotions.
I'm very good at regulating them for sure.
Because you don't allow yourself to experience any of them.
Keep them in check.
I don't know. You got to be careful with these stories because it can get even someone like me all excited to start a new hobby.
Right, but I think
It did
it's
say
funny.
moderate, though. It did say moderate use.
Right, yeah, you're excessive. So that moderate is not in your wheelhouse. I think it's funny that Kenny said Heather would like this story, as if he doesn't like this story.
Oh, well, I also like this.
I was
story.
gonna
yeah.
say
You
you're
should
not gonna
bring
throw
that
her
up.
under the bus.
Yeah, you should bring that up.
Well, to Heather's point, the experts did caution that the study does not prove causation. It's just showing an association with moderate use and these effects. Also, not all brain effects were positive. They said heavier use was linked to lower volume in certain areas of the brain, time to memory and self-reflection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds more right. I walked into the grocery store the other day after having a joint, and I forgot why I walked into the grocery store. I literally walked around for 5 minutes trying to figure out like what I went in there for.
Can you end this story with "Don't do drugs"?
And
Don't do it.
I finally figured out why I went in there,
Don't do
and I
it.
got what I needed.
Matter of
but
fact, go moderate, Heather. You're
Yeah.
extreme. Go moderate.
don't do drugs, kids.
Thank you very much, Heather. It's a public service announcement from
don't do
Heather.
it.
You just heard it right there. Kenny, what else you got?
It turns out, according to research out of Penn State University, charging your cell phone's battery overnight to 100% is not good for the phone's battery life.
Yeah, but it's so annoying to have like 33% at the start of the day, and you don't know if you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
And then when it runs out, you need to be near a receptacle and you can't move.
Or maybe just charge it overnight and then let the battery run its course throughout the entire day until you get to the end of the day. Like, let the battery die.
So don't panic that you're going to lose it. And if you do, take it as a sign that you've used it too much.
Yeah, that's it. You need a break. Like, I will let my phone run all the way down to like 0 and like the battery die and then put it on the charger. Unless I know like I'm waiting for an important phone call and I have like 5%. I'm like, ugh, I got to put this thing on the charger. But most of the time, I just take it as a sign I need a break.
Side question. Are you still rocking your iPhone 12?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Yep. No updates too. I stopped doing updates.
Yo. We
Yeah.
need a J-Bo documentary on Netflix. How did she do
That's right. Hit me up.
She didn't do an update in how long?
I don't even know. It's a iPhone 12. I haven't done an update in forever, and it's still operating.
Years.
It's been years,
And yet it's still working.
it still works.
You know, take this as a sign. We think we need the newest, shiniest phone, and we don't.
we really
You've
don't.
got it.
They say keeping your phone at high voltage near 100%. So if you do charge it overnight and it gets to 100 and it continues to charge, that causes chemical aging inside the battery. However, this article does point out that modern phone batteries are durable and most people will replace their phone for other reasons before the battery
Yeah.
actually conks out. So
Also, I'm pretty sure the iPhone like knows that it's too much, and I think it like goes, we're going to go into low charge mode. I feel like I've seen that. What else you got, Kenneth?
well, if you had to guess, what kind of car would you say Bad Bunny drives?
Very fancy one.
Yeah, you'd be
he has
wrong.
money.
He's definitely got plenty of money. He drives a 2003 Toyota Corolla.
Really? There's always got to be a story why.
Yeah, because I guess for the 2020 Grammys, he bought a Bugatti worth $3 to $4 million. He wanted to make a splash at the Grammys.
Oh, okay.
And it turns out he almost immediately regretted that purchase. He said everybody recognized him when he drove it on the streets of the United States. It's a very flashy car. He also didn't realize how loud it was. It has like a 1,500 horsepower engine.
It says, look at me, more
Yeah,
than
it does.
almost any other
Yeah.
car.
And also the taxes and the insurance for a car like that are out of control. So he traded it in, a $3-4 million car, and he got a $10,000 or less 2003 Toyota Corolla.
Well, I respect that. It takes him to where he needs to go. But
Point A to point B.
there's also, another side to this. There's a big jump between 3 to 4 million and like 100,000, right? Like if you want a nice Porsche or an Escalade or something. But listen, the Corolla works.
And they last a long time.
And I would imagine if I saw what I thought was Bad Bunny in a Toyota Corolla, I would immediately think there's no way that's Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
He would never
exactly.
drive a
Yeah.
Toyota Corolla. So people, I'm sure,
Yeah.
left him alone.
You would say, that guy looks like Bad Bunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Kenny, thanks for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.